Hello friend, welcome to Marine Engineering Hub. This is your narrator Ravi Gupta. Today we're going to talk about ultraviolet radiation type of ballast water treatment system. This marks the beginning of a different type of ballast water treatment system which I am gonna upload in the upcoming video. This marks the first video of the ballast water treatment system. I begin it with ultraviolet radiation. So friend, if you want to know more about it, please do comment below. So let's begin the today video of ultraviolet radiation. The first question come to our mind that what is a ultraviolet light? So ultraviolet light is a non-visible light that has a shorter wavelength than visible light. So now you know that the normal light having the visible length, the wavelength of ultraviolet light is shorter than that. The second question is that the range. The range of ultraviolet light is 100 nanometer to 400 nanometer. And the third thing is that it is found to be best and effective when it is used in the range of 254 Newton nanometer point. The best wavelength for the water disinfection lie in the middle of this range at the 254. The disinfection range of the ultraviolet light is called UVC range. So if the range is in between 254 nanometer, in that case that range is called UVC range. Okay. The disinfection action of ultraviolet light is very different from the action of any other type of potable water disinfectant. Chemical disinfectants such as chlorine and chlorine dioxide inactive or kill microorganisms by damaging the cellular structure that are needed for biological function and continue cell growth. Okay, now here we are talking about that what chemical type of ballast water treatment system do. It damage the cellular structure. But what about the ultraviolet light? Ultraviolet light inactivates the microorganism. They do not kill them, they inactivate them by damaging the chromosal nuclei that are needed for reproduction. So this will give you a clear idea. As you can see that this is a cell wall. The active substance which we are using in the chemical type of Ballast Water Treatment Plant, they are damaging this cellular structure of a microbes. So they are killing it. They are killing the microbes. But UV light is not killing the microbes. They are damaging the DNA, nucleoid of the microbes. By damaging the nucleoid of the microbes, these microbes now can't reproduce. So as they can't reproduce, they are non-invasive. So see how cleverly they are treating the thing. Now, the microorganisms continue to live, but they are unable to reproduce or replicate themselves. If a microorganism is unable to reproduce itself, it is essentially rendered harmless as a human pathogen. So basically, as I have told you earlier, the main idea behind the invasive and non-invasive is the reproduction. If a microorganism in the host environment is reproducing itself in such a way that it outlives the host environment microorganism, then it's called invasive microorganism. So if we kill or we damage the DNA of the microorganism, then it can't reproduce. If it can't reproduce, then it becomes non-invasive. Ultraviolet light intensity or doses are usually measured in millijoule. Okay, millijoule per centimeter square. Okay, so what are information I've given till now? The first information is that the range. It has a shorter wavelength of range of 100 to 400 nanometer. It is effective in the range of 254 nanometer, and it is effective when the water passes through close range and it doesn't kill the bacteria. It kills the DNA of the bacteria. Okay, and now I have given you one more information that it is measured in millijoule per centimeter square. The doses of UV light is needed to inactive E. coli about 7 millijoule per centimeter square. See, these are very technical data. If you want to write in the exam, you can write, but these are very effective if you say in the oral exam. Okay, means if you say this type of data, na, the surveyor will get very impressed. The doses of UV light need to inactive oscillate to somewhat higher and can vary depending on whether pulse or continuous wave ultraviolet radiation is applied. Viruses such as hepatitis A, rotavirus, SA1 can often require very large UV doses for inactivation. Now, through this, as you can see, the ultraviolet ray effectiveness in deactivating the DNA or in damaging the DNA of a microorganism vary with the intensity. Very important. With the intensity range, it vary that how they are going to be effective against the microorganism. So if the microorganism is strong, it need more exposure. If it is less, it can be less effective. So basically, depending on that, the exposure is required. If the microorganism is very dangerous, it may require large exposure. If it's not so dangerous, it may with small exposure it can be effective. Now let's see how a ballasting and deballasting operation are carried out in UV treatment plant. So as you can see, this is the primary filtration, this is the UV treatment plant, and this is the pump. So now what is happening? First we are doing the ballast. We are taking, we are passing it to the filter, which is removing the higher coarse particles, algae, all that. And after that, it has been passed to the UV treatment system where the microorganism DNA or nuclear is destroyed, and so that it can't reproduce, and then it is sent to the ballast tank. Now I have to deballast it. So in deballasting, what we are doing, through pump we are taking from the tank, we are again passing it to the microorganism, sorry, to the ultraviolet radiation, and after that we are deballasting. Now one thing you should see that the UV radiation is used in the ballasting and also in the deballasting. Why? The first answer to this is, as we are not killing the microorganism, they may be subjected to reproduce, not so much but may able to reproduce, because as I have told you earlier here in this paragraph, you can see I have told you that the intensity of the ultraviolet radiation will be varied depending upon the type of organism. So it may happen that some organism DNA may get completely damaged and they may not reproduce, but some organism DNA may not get completely damaged because of the exposure they want to get damaged. Okay, what I mean to say, if the microorganism is strong enough and if the exposure is not that long enough, it may happen that it may not get totally damaged. So in that case, it may reproduce. To avoid this, we are passing it during the ballasting as well as deballasting. Now, if our UV treatment system gone bad, in that case we have to take dispensation and we can directly bypass the system and we can do the ballasting and deballasting operation. Now, this is how a ultraviolet radiation system look like. As you can see, this is the ballast tank, this is the ballast pump. So first, when we are taking ballast from the overboard, water is coming from here, is passed through the filter, and then is going through the ultraviolet reactor, and then through here it is going to a Now when we are deballasting, we are taking the suction, we are taking the suction from here, sorry, we are taking suction from here. Okay, we are now not passing through the filter, now we will directly pass it to the UV reactor, and then from here we are passing to the overboard. So one more time I will tell you, during ballasting is going from here, here, like here, it is coming to tank. Now deballasting from here, it is going to here. Now this time not to the filter, through the UV reactor, and then overboard. This is how ballasting and deballasting operation is carried out. Now let's see some of the advantages and disadvantages of ultraviolet radiation. Ultraviolet light disinfection create no halogenated disinfection byproduct and no other known disinfection byproduct. So basically, what it means to say that substance like active substance which are used in chemical type or in biocides, they may have a bioproduct. Okay, like in sodium hypochlorite, it have hydrogen, and in other system it may be some others. So ultraviolet radiation system doesn't have any of this. It is simply, what it means to say is maintenance free. Ultraviolet, sorry, not maintenance free, means simply having no byproduct, so less, it's, it's less maintenance compared to the other, but it also need a maintenance to some extent, like cleaning of the ultraviolet tubes. I will talk about that. Ultraviolet light also create no ultraviolet residual. That is very important. For this reason, ultraviolet light is usable only for the primary disinfection. For ultraviolet light disinfection to be effective, ultraviolet wave must travel in a very close proximity to the water that is being treated. That is very, very important. It means that to be a effective system, we have to pass this ballast water in a very close proximity to this UV reactor. If the ballast water distance is far, as I have told you earlier, that depending upon the emission, depending upon the exposure of the UV, the organism are getting killed. So it should be passed to a very close proximity to make sure that even the most deadly microorganism will also get killed in that short span period of time. UV lamps are not either grouped in non-contact panel with the water passing underneath the panel, or they are submerged directly into the water with water moving around and between the lamp. So these are the things. Now when lamps are submerged into the water, the lamp must be encased in quartz tubing. Okay, they are encased in the quartz tubing. The single greatest advantage to using ultraviolet light is the ability to destroy cryptoridium oocyst. Okay, well applied and properly maintained, the intensity of ultraviolet radiation can readily deactivate and destroy even the most disinfection resilient oocyst. So I hope I have given a clear idea that how ballasting and deballasting of ultraviolet reactor or UV radiation system of ballast water treatment is carried out, and what are the properties of the ultraviolet radiation and how it differ from the chemical disinfectant type ballast water treatment system. So if you have still any doubt, please go to the notes which is been in the video, and if you are left with doubt, please do comment below, I will reply back. If you're watching till now, I'm very thankful to you. Have a good day friend, and please do subscribe and please do share on whichever platform, like social platform where you are finding Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, WeChat. In every platform, please do share a video so that we can reach to maximum person, maximum person, so that they can also learn and they can also grow together. If you I think if you think I have given you valuable input, so please do share and please do subscribe. Thank you, friend. Have a good day.